Well, good day, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino beer review. Today, you have the Rhino, and we're looking at a beer. Today's beer is from New Level, from Alberta. This is the Berserker. Oh, Berserker! Berserker! It's a blonde. It's Berserker Blonde. It's 5.5% alcohol by volume. They are... Okay, so this is my fourth beer from them I've reviewed, and here's where we're gonna go with this. Okay, first off, we're gonna pick up the Untapped, and we're gonna talk about Untapped, and then we're gonna talk about something else, because I talk about the price of their beers quite often, and we will talk about that as well. But it's a blonde/golden ale. They're in Calgary, Alberta. They're a microbrewery. This says a blonde so badass that we named it after the Viking warriors. We designed this beer to appeal to craft beer newbies and the hardcore elite. With a lighter IBU and medium malt profile, and I believe the IBU is like in the 20s. Yeah, 20 IBU. So I don't know if I'd say lighter IBU for a golden/blonde. You're probably fairly high. You should be in the 5 to 15 range normally. I know people will argue with that, but when you think about a blonde ale, think about all the European blonde ales, like Left Blanc and stuff like that. They have like 12 IBU. They are blondes. And they are blondes that were the original blonde ales. So once you go above the standards, you're not really the lighter IBUs anymore, but whatever. With lighter IBU and medium malt profile, the Berserker can be sessioned like you wouldn't believe. Flavorful and complex for craft beer lovers and approachable for all palates. I really hope it is. I really hope it is, because that sounds great. I've had, 3 friends have had this, and 1.4 thousand people have untapped it individually, like uniquely. Of my friends, the average is 3.67 out of 5. Of everyone, the average is 3.47 out of 5. So let's see, Da H has had it. Then we have Booze Reviews on Booze Reviews. Is that Dan, or is that boosereviews.ca? Okay, yes. Because I was thinking reviewing under influence there so that's Dan, and Dan is the one that has talked to me about something. And then Lee Methot has had it, and he gave it a 3.75, and he had it back in 2019. Look at the artwork back in 2019 for that. That is intriguing. So this beer came in a mixed 8-pack. The mixed 8-pack was $40, plus tax, plus deposit. So you're looking at about $44, $45 altogether. Dan has showed it to me right from the brewery, and I'm paying about $15 more than it is from the brewery itself. So from the brewery, the prices are really good. Now this Berserker, they also have this as a 4-pack at the Sobeys Liquor I bought this at. At the Sobeys Liquor I bought this at, it's like $21.99 as a 4-pack, plus deposit, plus plus taxes. At the brewery itself, you'd be buying this for $14. So the reason I bring this up is we talked about the prices on all the other 3 reviews I've done for New Level. And then I started talking to Dan, because Dan is a New Level fan, and he was talking to me about stuff, and I'm like, can you tell me the prices this stuff was at the brewery? I'm kind of curious what shipping it 7 hours. Just 7 hours. Shipping it 7 hours, but across provincial lines. But there isn't supposed to be a tariff on them, because they are part of the prairie conglomerate that's going on. Like Western Canada isn't supposed to have extra pricing put on stuff. Stuff coming from Eastern Canada will have extra prices put on. Also, it's sold at a private shop. So I'm basically looking at that I'm spending between $10 and $18 more, depending on the item, than what it would be sold for at the brewery. As their sour mix pack is over $50 at the Sobeys Liquor, and it's $35 at the brewery, and so you're paying $4.25 a can. And on top of that, well, like because 4 times 8 is 32, and it's 30. Yeah, so like $4.25, $4.50 a can, something in there, where I'm paying close to $10 a can when you think about it. Well, not really, but like $7 a can, over $7 a can. Big difference in price. Plus, I have to pay deposit and taxes on top of it. So it was a curious thing, right? Because I always bring price into it, and people get angry when I bring price into it. But price really matters on the enjoyment of something to me, because I work for a living. I'm not rich. I'm not this. I'm not that. Hell, I am so far in debt, I probably shouldn't be buying any beer. I got fucked so bad leaving where I was. Getting out of the Arctic really fucked me, and I don't know if I'll ever get out of debt without going bankrupt. I don't know. I'm hoping so, but I don't know. We all live in debt, but I don't want to live in the $35,000 in credit card debt that I'm in. My job pays amazing, and it would be even more amazing if I wasn't where I was. But I am where I am. But this is why price matters to me, because I like value for my money when it comes to my beer. So it was really intriguing to hear what he pays for a beer over what I pay for the same beer. And if I was paying the prices he pays, I would probably raise my even the Pinball Wizard, which was in this case and is also in the much more expensive case, where I was saying, okay, so maybe the Pinball Wizard's worth more than the rest of the case. Well, again, that case is over $15 more for me to buy here than there, so I'm adding $2 a can right there. If I was paying the price, because Pinball Wizard was like $18, I believe, for a 4-pack where he was, I would pay that for that 4-pack. I think that beer is well worth that price, and I gave that beer like a 9 out of 10 anyway. I would have raised it even more if the price was better. So price does matter. Anyway, and I was going on about how the artwork, and I think the artwork is still one of the reasons why I'm paying as much as I am. But I think it's Sobeys Liquor going, ooh, I really like that picture. Let's charge more. Because it does feel like that must be the way it is. And I think I might actually reach out to Dan on all the Alberta beers I review to get a idea of what the price is in Alberta, just to know and just say, if I was living there, this is the rank I would give it. If I'm staying here, buying it here, this is the rank I'm giving it. Because I think it's a good thing to note, right? And that's why, like, when I do reviews from something that was sent to me from Ontario or anything like that, I go off the Ontario price. Even if I've seen it here at some point, and I know what the price is here, I'll still go off the Ontario price, because I go off the price it was paid for me to drink it. And I mean, the Nova Scotia beers that I order, they do have a shipping cost on them as well, but I look at them as the cost. I in my mind run both numbers. I run the numbers of this plus this for shipping, or just this. Now, where do I think the beer sits? And a lot of times I give it a higher mark than I normally would if I had bought it here, because I know what I paid for it in Nova Scotia, and I know Nova Scotia thinks that beer prices are high, and their beer prices are high, but their beer prices aren't high in comparison to this province. It's a weird conundrum that Canada has, where Quebec has the best prices. Alberta has a private sales system, yet they still seem to have pretty good prices if you're buying from the brewers, like right from the source. But if you're buying from the bottle shops, it doesn't seem to be as good. Ontario's prices don't actually look that bad once you've bought beer in other provinces. So I mean, it's one of those weird things. I mean, yeah, it's odd. It's really odd. Crystal clear, golden color, beautiful golden color, bright white head. There is a snap, crackle, pop, but it's not as in depth, shall I say, as I would expect. Guess we'll sniff from the can first. There is a hoppiness to the can, but it's like orange peel and dirtiness, like English-esque. And a little bit of sweet maltiness. Like it smells kind of like what I'd expect it to smell like, is what I'm basically saying. So let's put our Viking ship up here. Let's sniff from the glass. I'm not thinking I'm going to get anything from this thick head. I really wanted thick head tonight, but I got turned down. It's like, damn it, woman. Give me some thick head. If you want the rhino horn, contact. No. Okay, let's try it. Cheers. Okay, where do I look at this, right? I keep saying, because I'm trying to focus my thoughts. My thoughts haven't been able to be focused in a while. And I think if I talk to you guys about why my thoughts haven't been able to be focused, you'd be like, that's just normal teenager stuff. But then you don't know what led up to the points we're at. Because I'm having some trouble with one of my kids, and it's really affecting me. I'm actually having trouble with two of my kids. One of them, it really is normal teenager stuff, and I just want to kick her. My eldest daughter, my adopted daughter from my wife, right? One that is mine but isn't mine. You know what I mean? And all sense and purposes, she's mine, but our family resemblance isn't really there, you know. I'm as white as a white can be, and she looks like my shirt. So, you know, like, and then my son, and he is mine, me and my wife, and he isn't hers. For her, it's the same thing as her oldest for me. It lives with us, and oh my God, it's just. Yeah. That's a good beer. That really is. That's a good beer. Like, it's hoppier. See, it says that it's for all palates. I don't think I would say it's for all palates. I don't think a craft newbie would really get behind this beer because it is hoppy, but it's hoppy in a different way. It's very earthy. It's very English-esque. It's not bitter per se. It's dirty, and I say dirty, and people get angry at me, right? People are like, "Why would you say dirty? It doesn't." Because to me, that's like mud pies and stuff like that. The English hoppiness is either sucking on a copper coin or earthy muddiness, and I'm getting that earthy muddiness on this. There's a bit of caramel up at the forefront. There's a bit of sweetness up at the forefront. Middle is kind of just nothing. And then that earthiness. Now, do I think it's fairly approachable? Yes. As long as you've started up the ladder, if you've left and the way I'm going to say this is going to sound very snobbish, and I know it is, but if you've left the Pabst and the Bud and the Coors and the Corona and the Heineken and all that type of stuff in the dust, and you've started drinking craft, you don't even have to be very far into craft. You could be into the crafty stuff, the Blue Moons and the now Mill Streets and stuff like that. You could be into the lower end of the craft, the Creamores, the stuff that is no longer craft and is trying to be that hybrid between craft and macro, to try and steal some craft, steal back some of the craft margin, some of the craft market share. And craft doesn't have much of a market share in comparison to the big guys. It really doesn't. But once you have people that are branching off from the big guys, if you can steal back even 1 or 2% of them, you still have like 95% of the market. So if you're somebody that's veered off of just the regular golden lagers, and you're trying more craft, even if you're just trying craft lagers and stuff like that, this would be right up your wheelhouse. And if you're somebody like me who has tried almost 7,000 unique beers, this is still up my wheelhouse. This is a good beer. And knowing that it's $14 a 4-pack, I would pay $14 a 4-pack for it. Now, if I'm buying it here in Regina, I was about to say Niagara here in my mind, right? If I was paying over $20 for it, I probably wouldn't buy it again. So when I rate this, I'm going to be thinking about what I could get it for at its source, which is a great price in my opinion. Oh, excuse me. It's flavorful, but not overly so. I like it. It's a good beer. It's Berserker. And I would give Berserker a 7.5 out of 10. I would buy that again. Thank you guys. This has been way too long. Oh shit, I'm stuck. Sorry, my pants got stuck. Oh, it's not a dad bod. It's a father figure. Bye-bye.